Hi, this is Cichlid Central. This is the first one of these talking videos I've done, so you gotta bear with me. But I'm gonna do a quick run through on the fish room. I'm putting a brand new rack in right now, so things are a little bit out of place. Here's the top 20 and bottom 20. This is my feeder tank. There isn't a market for Dempsey's, and my pair just goes crazy on me. I had like 2 spawns in a month, close to 300, so they're feeders. Here's my little girl. That's their mommy. This is a pair of female obliquidens. The male, he's hiding out down below. This is my hybrid. Well, one of. This is Elvis. I picked him up, I want to say 7 months ago, and he's a cool fish. He's a cool fish. He's really personable. You know, I mean, he gets vicious. Just comes up top and goes crazy. Yet he lets me pet him. He likes it. He's a good boy. He recently lost a tank mate. I had an algae eater in there, so was trying to cut down. I've got a little problem with some blue-green in some tanks that I'm trying to address without pounding out a ton of money. This is, those were both 60-gallon. This is a 55-gallon. I've been doing some work, a little bit of cleaning, not enough obviously. But in here I have some Nosferatu Bartoni and Nosferatu Labradins. And you see the Bartoni, I put some house plants in here. I was trying to find something that looks like their native habitat, which is one little pond in the middle of Mexico. And it deformed them. Some weird plants when they died. And so they're just pets. I'm not breeding those at all. This is my Hapobliquidens tank, and you'll see everybody's talking about food right now, so everybody's up. Normally, this plastic plant in the back, this long one right up front, that is the line. And you'll see these two, they're holding to it pretty good, the males. I try and create a barrier, and they abide by it. They're good fish. They're good fish. Obliquidens are some really beautiful Vicks, and I've got amazing spawning going on in here. I'm letting some of them become food, and others, females with huge mouthfuls, I go ahead and pull and strip. And I mean, I let them go at least week and a half in before I strip them, because I want free swimming. I have hatchers, but it's such a hassle. It's such a hassle, so I'd rather just let the parent go a little longer. I mean, it only cuts their next spawn down by about a week. So that's 255s there. Moving right along. Oh, deep sink. Hose all wrapped up on the wall there. It's what I cover all the tanks with. This, I picked up some Achilles, Gardnerite, and they've been pretty productive for me, nice. Right now, this big female right here, I've named her the B word because she has beat the poor boy up to where he's a swim bladder problem right now. But as you can see, there's still fry popping up in there, so things are happening there. That's 10-gallon. And by the way, this is all underneath my stairs that go up. 35-gallon. In here I have 24 Sacramontes fry. They're the giant cribs from the Niger Delta. A lot of terrible stuff has happened in the Niger Delta in the last year, and they don't know if anything is still alive in there. there's been close to 2 million barrels of crude oil dumped into the Delta. Here you see I'm just finally getting rid of the blue-green. In there, that's the first spawn of the Sacromontes. There were 2 males, and he of course murdered his partner. But he's in there, and the little pea puffer is being bullied right now. Otherwise, he'd be up at the glass. In here, I don't worry about the green on this tank because there's a ton of, I think it's Telmatochromis. They're shell dwellers. They're hump-headed shell dwellers. They got the little lumpy head. Cool looking. Big teeth, big teeth. This is hospital tank. 5 gallon there. I'll show you that in a little bit. We got 10 gallon here that's empty. I just emptied that out. Here are, oh, I don't know, maybe 40 obliquidens fry from the last strip. And this little guy, I keep this light out because this is one of them old chrome tanks. And if I leave this light on all day, it takes the tank up to 85 degrees. So he freaked out and ran. But that's Cuban cichlid. And this is the gardener eye I showed you below. This is what I have left. I've been taking a lot to fish stores. That's a 10 gallon. Oh, that little one's a 2.5. This is my top 70, and my Buna tank. It's about 3 years old as far as this group that's in here right now. And the group has shrunk. There have been murders, and I mean, you deal with it. It's part of a Buna tank. Recently, you see this Estuary in the front here has a real light patch on one side of his head. 4th of July this year. About a week before, I did a big cleaning on this tank, and I moved the rocks. And this, of course, Buna tank heavily planted, and they're not able to tear that plastic apart, so it's kind of hanging in there. That's the tank boss. Now, you'll see this blue-lipped Williams eye right here, showing female colors. Well, I took her and I put her down in the bottom 70, which was a female tank at the time, and she went full-on male color and just started terrorizing everything in the tank. So I put her back up here thinking she's just a male hiding because she's not the boss. And I spotted her one day with a mouthful. And out of them, we have this little guy right here. He is a mix between the tank boss and the Williams Eye blue-lipped girl. Also, when he got his injury, I had to, there was a big chunk of skin and meat hanging back because he ran into a rock head first because I had moved the rocks. And 4th of July, there was a ton of mortars this year. So all that explosion and stuff probably had him pretty freaked out. I wasn't home at the time. I was at a 4th of July party. But yeah, that's my other cross, that little crazy thinking boy there. Now down here, these are Yestachromis blue tips. And if you go to the, I think it's ICUN, if you go to their red list, big capital letters, extinct. And let me see, that is my little girl with a mouthful. And there, of course, is the big boy, and that one next to him is a boy, another boy. And then I have this girl in there also. But that's all I got in there because of the extinct status. I have done, basically did this whole tank just for them. Oh, wait a minute. and that is a rack of 10s. I have the red Fincellis. They actually hit close to 3-inch. So you have to put them in the bigger conch shells, or I found this little house actually I got with them, and I thought, I'm gonna give it a try. She's in there, she's been in there for a while. These are the Telmatochromis lumphead chellies. That's the little girl just sitting there. She sits and watches because there are babies everywhere. And here's the little boy over here, he's sitting under the filter. I'm in the process of converting all the tanks that I had running just sponge to under gravel filter and sponge. I want the clean bottoms. I felt that the sponge alone tanks just got way too dirty. And these are my cockatoo cichlids, cockatoides. That's the little boy. I had a set of Super Reds. I had an X2 male and an X4 female, and I picked up these oranges just recently. She is poking her little head out of the pistol house. But that's a new pair. Okay, 20-gallon racks. In here I have albino daffodil, male, female, and there's about a dozen fry in there. And they're already starting to show color and nice finish. Down here I got a little Cory in there, but these are Apistos.I red, oh man, can't remember right offhand, but I have a large group of those. These are fry from a pair I picked up and then sold, and I sold most of the fry, and I just kept this group of 10. There's also a female in there I just picked up. She's really rare, and I got a buddy looking for me a male. This is I believe it's a 24 or 26 bow front. It's got the footprint of a 20, but it's bow front. Right now, no one is out because I believe Spawn 4 has happened already. This is my wild-caught Sacromontis, Pelvichromis sacromontis. And next 20 up, this is my multi-colony. I had a problem with spawning going on like crazy. I set a border, I got these 2 rocks in here, and the one female stays over here with her group, and this female stays over here with hers. This girl's always had a smaller group, but you'll notice the sign in the back. They got really crazy on me, and I found out the only way to stop them from spawning is not, and just don't feed for babies, which is mean, but I don't have the space for them right now. And this is going to be a little something different. I haven't really decided what's going here and what the decoration is going to be. So right now I got a couple of male rams in there. And then I got me some of the Aussie rainbows that they're cool fish. And that is the rack of 20s. My top 55. This is my Tang Tang. This is my pride and joy right now, and I just scared the shit out of everybody. They hate the camera. Excuse my French. I have La Lupi in there. I have some Black Calvis. I have some Kaiser troughs. I have Blue Point troughs. I have a Du Boise, and he's the tank boss. He's a big guy. He's running. They don't like the camera. And then I have Samazi and Burundi fronts in here. And they're a little freaked out. They always are by the camera. And there's another one of the Black Calvis. But It's a nice tank. Two Lulupi, and I've got a lump-headed Shelly in here also, and he's doing fine, and he's about half grown already. And gotta have a Chinese algae eater because, you know, gets green. This is where the blue tips came from. They were in this tank, and there's a large male and a female in here, and he is shy right now. This is a 40 long, kind of a dirty tank right now, but when I clean it up, the glass does not clean up. It's got some problems, but holds water, and they're doing fine. There he is, tucked back in there. Let's see if I can get a shot of him. Yeah, he's just peeking. He's a little hesitant when I get the camera out. I have several that are hesitant when I get the camera out. But in a nutshell, that is my fish room. Now, I'll show you the inside of the portholes. Basically what that is we come in under the stairs, and I have a curtain. It gives me access to all three tanks. Two 10s, a 14. This is a 5-gallon. I have a rack of 4 2.5s down there. I've got some killie fry in both the top ones. Both bottoms are empty. And then that's the back of the killie and the 35. And we've saved the best for last. Those were the top of the bar tanks. This is my 180 gallon. There's my Jag. I'm not that great on naming fish, so his name is Jag. And there's my convict. He's Con. And this is a Venezuelan pike. Yeah, he's only, yeah, you can, well, there's a ruler right there. Wow. I forgot I left that there. He's about 12 inches now. He's got about 12 more inches to go. And this is Fipster, my big Oscar. She is the warden of the tank, and she's a very fair warden. All she asks is you move. She won't hurt you. And this is Horny. I got him with that little female Jack Dempsey, and I was planning on spawning them, but she ended up spawning with, you see the big Dempsey down below. That's Jack. That's why her name is Jill. Yeah, he's the father of those, and the Isochromus. When I put him in the bottom 70, there was a brand new spawn from those two, and I separated them. I put him back in there. And that back there, let's see if we can get in on him. That is the same age as the 3 Nosferatu Labradins I showed you in the other tank, but just being the dominant of them, he grew a lot faster, a lot faster. And feeders are still in there. They disappear slowly. They disappear slowly in this tank. And that's it. This is my Cuban. He's out now. Not freaked out. Yeah, it's a very cute little fish. Mean little bugger. Most definitely a mean fish. And this is the food. I have some Excalibur treats for the flower horn, and I use mainly Extreme, and I get all 3 sizes of pellets: Pee-wees, the 3 mil, and then the giant, and flake. I use the flake once I get the babies past the brine shrimp stage, usually 6 days on brine shrimp, and then they can eat crushed up flakes. And that's that. 5-gallon tank. And that, I guess that's a wrap.